What is up, guys? Welcome to my review for The Flash Season 4, Episode 20, titled Therefore She Is. Before I get into my review, I would love it if you follow me on Twitter. Link is in the description for daily polls on the Arrowverse or all things superheroes, TV show / movie related as well. And this is the main thing, better daily updates on my video because YouTube is really not working in that regard. Or if you don't have Twitter, definitely get Twitter, but if you don't want Twitter for some reason, definitely click the notification icon next to the subscribe button because it definitely helps. And let's get on to the review. So this episode really focused on the drama between Cisco and Gypsy. And I will say one thing, I don't think this drama was built up very well at all. It was like built up in one episode, and that was the episode where Breacher was like offered Cisco this job, and that was a pretty bad episode, or at least that storyline was very bad in my opinion. Throughout the rest of the season, I don't remember seeing Gypsy at all. Like maybe we saw her in that one episode where Breacher appeared. We definitely saw her then, but other than that, I don't remember seeing her at all. So this drama was definitely not built up well, at least this season, and it coming to a conclusion in this episode doesn't really work because it doesn't really matter. They broke up, but we never saw them together anyway, so why does it matter? I thought, however, that during this episode, the drama was at least done pretty well, and it accomplished what it set out to do, which was break them up and probably make it so that they probably like never go to Earth 19 again. Just kind of sucks because I kind of wanted to see the Accelerated Man in this episode as well as the rest of the season, and it turns out that we didn't. It was confirmed that Accelerated Man was going to be in this episode, but he was technically, but all we saw was Purple Lightning run across the screen, and that was it. I said in my trailer breakdown that he probably won't be a very big part of the episode, but I did not expect him to be such a small part of the episode. I thought that at the beginning of the episode we would see Gypsy and Accelerated Man work together in a scene, and then Gypsy would come to Earth alone, but it turns out we didn't even see him in his costume. All we saw was Purple Lightning, so I have no idea why he was on set at the time of shooting. I have no idea, but I was excited to see more of this character and more of the world, especially since the world is the world of Gotham by Gaslight, which I think is not the most interesting world, but I mean Batman is there, so that's something I would love to see. But it turns out that they broke up and they're probably just closing off Earth 19 for good. And if I were to guess, then I would say that we're probably never going to go back to Earth 19 ever again. But this drama in this episode, it wasn't really built up well throughout the season, but I thought it was done relatively well in the episode. So this episode had some standout moments for me where Team Flash were fighting the Thinker, and it was actually just one moment, and the moment where Barry was running at the Thinker and he created a portal to, I think it's the North Pole. I thought that was a really cool moment because he just ran through and he's in the North Pole, and then like a couple of seconds later, like a minute and a half later, he's back in Central City. I thought that was a pretty cool moment, and it really showed the Thinker's powers. Speaking of DeVoe, this episode had a lot to do with DeVoe, and I think that I noticed that in the trailer breakdown for this episode from the title of the episode, Therefore She Is, because earlier this season we had an episode called Therefore I Am, which was very much focused around DeVoe, and we even had flashbacks to DeVoe's past in that episode, and we had that here as well. These flashbacks were more to set up Marlize and show what her motivation to helping Clifford was, other than they're married, and there was a motivation, like she agreed with him on things after seeing what somebody did, and I thought these flashbacks were pretty, I wouldn't say they were necessary, but they were pretty good in my opinion. They were pretty, they definitely made the episode a little better, although I definitely think they probably should have done it earlier in the season if they wanted to set up this Marlize leaving DeVoe thing better, but at least in this episode, I definitely think it works. That's something that I said. Like, I said the exact same thing about Cisco Gypsy drama, didn't I? But I guess that's my basic opinion on this episode. It wasn't set up very well, but it was done pretty well, and I like these flashbacks in general. But it's also that in this episode, the Thinker's plan, or his big season-ending plan, was revealed. And his plan that was revealed is to make everybody stupid, which in my opinion is a little shallow for the villain that was set up throughout the season. He was set up to be like somebody who has a noble cause and trying to do the right thing, but is going the wrong way about it, and he's trying to do something that nobody else understands, and it turns out that all he wants to do is get rid of technology, and it's pretty crazy. Like his opinion on this is pretty crazy, to say that technology does more harm than good, which is insane. It's just that he was set up to be somebody who wants to do good and wants to help the world in a way that would seem real, like somebody would do in real life without being crazy, but nobody else understands him other than Marlize. But it turns out that that's not really what's going on. I mean, he is basically that, but he's only doing something that's right in his own image, when it wouldn't really be right in anybody else's image. So I think his plan reveal, isn't the greatest reveal. Hopefully it's not like the end. Hopefully that isn't his end game, because there are 3 more episodes left. So maybe like in the next episode, we reverse everyone back to idiots before technology existed, and then the next 2 episodes he does something else. I don't really know, because this end plan isn't the greatest, and that's it's probably actually the best. I was thinking about it, it's the best season finale Flash end plan, because so far they've all been pretty stupid, especially season 2 and 3. I thought season 2 was like copied too much from Crisis on Earth X. Season 3 was just ridiculous. Season 1 was okay, but it wasn't great. It wasn't a great conclusion to what the season was building up with the Reverse Flash. But I guess that this, even though it's not amazing or anything, it is the best end plan for a season villain, because even though I said that it doesn't really fit his character, the only reason I don't think so is because he's not doing something that is good for everybody, just doing something that is good for everybody in his image, which I guess makes sense. So thinking about it now, I think I actually do like this plan. I don't love it or anything, but I think it is not bad. So now to talk about something that was set up very well in this season, in my opinion, and that was Marlize leaving Clifford. We've seen that for a while throughout the season. We saw her doubts, and we saw in I think episode 19, her just completely looking like she's gonna leave, and it's been a theory for a while, and now this episode, it's finally done. And although it was like very like out of nowhere in this episode, like she was with him the entire episode, but you do see her having doubts, but like by the end of the episode, it's not like a big thing. She just says, "I'm leaving you," and she leaves. But I don't think that really bothers me, in my opinion. That doesn't really bother me. So I think that Marlize leaving Clifford and is that the fact that it finally happened is pretty cool. But I definitely think she's gonna either die in the next episode or the episode after that, or in the season finale, because she's definitely not living past season 4. That's for sure. And I definitely think that another thing I think is that Marlize leaving Clifford will probably be what leads Clifford to losing. Like that will be his downfall, being such a dick to Marlize. But I thought this thing, Marlize leaving Clifford, was done well. It was set up well throughout the season, and this episode paid it off pretty well. And then the episode ends with Mystery Girl coming back for, I think, the 3rd time. We haven't really seen much of her. I think she will be a much bigger character in the next season, I mean. But this episode did give us some more information on her, especially the big one where she is a speedster. Now, that could mean a couple things, but it's most likely meaning that, I mean, it's been confirmed that she is connected to Iris and Barry, and it seems like she's from the future, because she knows exactly when Cecile and Joe's baby is going to be born. She knows other things from the future I don't really remember. Also, the actress that's playing her is biracial, so that, like, black and white, so that would make sense, because she would be Barry and Iris' daughter. So I think that she's definitely probably Dawn Allen, or she could be their granddaughter and be a gender-bent Impulse, Bart Allen, which I would not like in the slightest. But I think that this scene with the Mystery Girl, whoever she is, probably Dawn Allen, and the fact that she's a speedster was a pretty cool reveal. Also, one more thing I just realized, just from looking at these photos, that proves that she is Dawn Allen, or at least a descendant of Barry and Iris, is because look at her lightning. She has 2 colors in her lightning, which is really abnormal for speedsters. We've never seen that before, as far as I can remember, but her lightning is both yellow and purple, which is clearly, to me, a mixture between Barry's yellow lightning and Iris's temporary purple lightning, or maybe pink, I'm not really sure. But that's a clear indicator to who her parents are, and it's pretty obvious, like the fact that her lightning, she's biracial, she's somehow connected to Barry and Iris, and she's from the future. She's 100% Dawn Allen, and there's really no other theory that can prove otherwise. And if it turns out to be someone else, then that would honestly be a pretty awesome twist, if it makes sense. In conclusion, this episode was definitely not an amazing episode, but I think it was a pretty good episode. There was nothing bad about it, there was nothing amazing about it, and it was just good, or maybe even great. There was a couple great things in this episode, but not really anything amazing, so I will give this episode an 8.7 out of 10. But let me know what you thought about the episode in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.